Good evening, friends. Welcome to day 111 for a poem a day of 2026. It is Tuesday. It's about 7:05. I'm cutting things fine. I have been to the office today. Had to stop at the pharmacy on the way home, taking the bin out because it's bin day tomorrow. And I have been a good cat servant, and I've gone and collected grass for the cats from outside. I'm certain I've said before, but the cats are house cats. But at our previous home, we had a garden, an enclosed garden. The space I have at the moment is I have like a little front yard area, which is fenced, but the fencing has quite wide spacing, and it's definitely space enough for cats to escape. So yeah, they're tricksy, and even though they're 13 years old, they can still move at pace when they want to. And there's two of them and one of me, so and I do not so much move at pace, and certainly not with two of them. And we've had an escape with Meg before, because I discovered that the fence that separates myself and my neighbour on the other side isn't flushly connected to our adjoining wall. There is a gap, and she got through, and I had to run around the house to get around the whole building to get some. Thankfully, she was just sat in their front garden, just sniffing things and eating grass. So yeah, that was a lot. I'm still unhappy about the live stuff from yesterday. But being in the office today and seeing some friends has been nice, and being able to talk to a few people about it in person has been helpful. And I now only have 3 working days until I am off for I think what will work out to be 16 days altogether, which is nice. Yeah, 2 working weeks and 3 weekends altogether. So yeah, I cannot wait. I know some of it's going to be pretty hectic, but that's the main reason I'm going to be off. And I'm super excited, and I had a late night last night. I'm sorry, I've just realised that I'm rambling on about my life when we're here for poetry. So sorry. Let's delve in to the Big Red Book. I'm so sorry. I forgot myself for a moment. It is the 21st of April, and we have a page worth. It's an excerpt from the Old Vicarage, Grantchester, by Rupert Brooke, and our blurb reads as follows. Brooke wrote this sprightly poem while recuperating from a nervous breakdown in Berlin. Relatable. It reflects upon his student days at the University of Cambridge and the nearby village of Grantchester, a popular spot for students escaping their work for a day. So this is an excerpt from the Old Vicarage, Grantchester, by Rupert Brooke. Oh God, to see the branches stir across the moon at Grantchester, to smell the thrilling sweet and rotten, unforgettable, unforgotten river smell, and hear the breeze sobbing in the little trees. Say, do the elm clumps greatly stand still, guardians of that holy land? The chestnut shade, in reverend dream, the yet unacademic stream, Is dawn a secret shy and cold, and a dime silver gold, and sunset still a golden sea, from Halsingfield to Madingley? And after, ere the night is born, the hares come out about the corn. Oh, is the water sweet and cool, gentle and brown above the pool? And laughs the immortal river still, under the mill, under the mill? Say, is there beauty yet to find, and certainty, and quiet kind? Deep meadows yet, for to forget the lies and truths and pain? Oh, yet stands the church clock at 10 to 3, and is there honey still for tea? Should imagine that being able to have some respite from studies, university, that kind of thing, is hugely important. I didn't go to university myself. When talking to our guidance careers counsellor type person at 16, I unfortunately, as a child, was well aware that it was outside of the financial possibility of my family. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to study anyway. My favourite ironic tale to that end. So I think I've said before, I used to live in Milton Keynes. I lived there from 9 until 29. And I loved drama, English, other bits and pieces. And I took performing arts and English literature at A level, as I've mentioned before. And I was talking to this careers advisor person, and I was like, look, I don't know what I'd study at university anyway. I was like, it's pointless. I was like, I can't justify going into thousands of pounds of debt for and she was like, I tell you what, she was like, bearing in mind that this is what you're studying and we could look at something on that kind of route, she was like, we'll book another appointment for next week. She was like, I'll do some research and we'll have another chat and see if we can find something. And I was like, cool. I was like, it's not like I'm signing up for something. Can't hurt to look. She came back to me, went to the appointment. She'd found a mixed media degree, which would encompass things like performing arts, English literature, some music and drama, like all that good stuff. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, I found one at a university in a location where the cost of living is significantly cheaper. She was like, there's halls of residence. She was like, costs will be much lower. And she was like, and at this particular university, she was like, because of the location, the fees are much cheaper. And she was like, it's significantly cheaper all round. She was like, and it's essentially a much better price than if I were to go for sort of like the local De Montfort University or something. And I was like, okay. I was like, this sounds. I started kind of getting quite enthused about it, and I was like, where are we talking? She was like, Aberdeen, and I was like, okay, so I'm 16, 17. I was like, I've never even been on a holiday without my family. I was like, and I'm supposed to essentially move to a different country on my own. It's because the cost of living is cheaper for a degree that I don't know if I want to do. I was like, nah. I was like, if this was something that I was super passionate about, and you've managed to find a way to wrangle it, I was like, I'd give it some serious thought. I was like, but no. I was like, I'm not literally moving to a different country to... I was like, no. I was like, because I wouldn't have the money to come back and visit. I was like, out of term time and stuff, I was like, I would be living in Aberdeen. I was like, no. She was like, I see your point. Okay, fair enough. As I've gotten older, and I found roller derby, found a love of commentating, and a joy in reading, narrating, and a want to... my biggest goal, dream job, that kind of thing, is voice acting, voice work. And whether that's audiobook narration, video games, animation, like, I would love to do something in that realm. And I looked at radio work many years ago, and it was either kind of work as a apprentice type thing for a pittance, or and like radio work would have been probably a really good in to this kind of career. So it was like, yeah, apprentice kind of thing, or mixed media degree. But at 16, 17, I had no idea that that's what I want to do. That's the realisation I'd have at 34, 35. This is a realisation I had some years ago. That's not my current age. So yeah. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. But so I'm it's part of why I'm doing this. It's to help for a show reel. It's why some of the videos are a bit more precise or concise, and some of them, like this one, are particularly rambly because I enjoy telling stories, and I like sharing my life, and sometimes it's nice to share, and I hope folks don't mind me rambling on about myself too much. But that is another day of poetry, and my vague connection to the content. I am thinking ahead about next week, when I will be leaving for Orléans in France for the World Cup. I think for the ease of everything, and given that they will be quite long days, I think I'm going to pre-record Wednesday through Monday. It's a lot of pre-recording, and I apologise for that, but I think trying to find time to record during the day is going to be just another complication, and it would mean that I'm not giving you all the quality that I want to give you. So I will find some time over the weekend or Monday or Tuesday, because I'm off work from when I finish on Friday, and do that. So I will also find something for Thursday, which is my bonus day, last day of the month. So yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. But until tomorrow, day 112, I'm going to go and feed the cats and feed myself and settle down and hopefully have a much more relaxing evening than I had yesterday, and hopefully have an earlier night. And I hope that you all have lovely evenings, and until tomorrow, I wish you a very good night.